Om. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Om Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam. Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahmavidvaram. Sadgurum Brahmavidvaram. Om Namo Bhagavate Sri Ramanaya. So, very important is going to be thought that if you consider Shakti as the supreme, then Shakti itself is Ashraya and Vyapara. It itself is the substratum, Adhara, and the entire activity, Karya Karanam, Sambandham. So therefore Shakti has got two names, Ashraya and Vyapara, Dvinamna. That's what we saw yesterday. Now, Kutaha Namadvayam Shakti iti chet sarjanam tadashraya karanam cha sayeva iti aha. Okay? So that creation and activity in the form of Srushti, Sthiti, Laya, etc. is Shakti alone does everything. So these two names Shakti has got, Ashraya and Vyapara. Now, Vyaparo Vishwasargadi Karyamuktam Manishibihi Ashrayo Dvipadam Sreshta Swarupa Natirichyate. So, we have been telling Vyapara, 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 activity, word used. So, what does that activity means? Dvipadam Sreshta. The Sreshta means, Dvipadam means bipeds. So, the best among the biped, that is two-legged human beings. They Dvipadam Sreshta, meaning Narasreshta. Vyaparaha Vishwasargadi Karyam Manishabhi Uktam. The wise people have said, Vyapara means Vishwa Sarga Adi, the creation of universe, etc. So, wise people said, what is Vyapara done by Shakti? टेम्परेचर कम करो उसका. Okay. So now he says, Vyaparo Vishwasargadikaryam Manishibhiruktam. Wise people said, what is Vyapara? Activity of the Shakti's activity, or whatever it. Activity is always by Shakti only. That we saw. So it is called creation, etc. Adi. See that Vyaparo Vishwasarga Adi. Adi means etc. Etc. means Adi Shabdena Sthiti Laya Tirodhana Anugraha Grahyaha. So the Pancha Srushti Sthiti Laya Tirodhanam Anugraha. The five activities of the Divine Mother. In Lalita Sahasranama it comes very clearly. So, all the five are included in Vyapara. Srushti, Sthiti, Laya, Tirodhanam and Anugraha, Grahyaha. Etat sarvam karyam Vyapara shabdena abhidiyate. So, all these things are indicated by the word vyapara, said by one word called vyapara, activity of the Divine Mother, Shakti. Ashrayaha sarupat na atirichyate. Now, what is ashraya? If here you take now. Earlier proposition is, if you take Shakti as supreme, because Parabrahma Swarupini, who? Divine Mother. So if you take Shakti, the word Shakti used for supreme, then Shakti itself is Ashraya, Shakti itself is Vyapara. The Adhishtanam, support, substratum, and the activity is same, done by same, because there is no difference. Only one is there, that whatever is Tattvam Ekyasti, Ekameva Advitiyam Brahma, that Brahma is called as Shakti here. We saw in the earlier also yesterday, Tat Shakti iti abhidiyate chet, some supreme power, if you call as Shakti, then that Shakti does it. Now here, if you take other approaches, Shiva and Shakti, Swarupam and Shakti, if you take these two in that language, here you are using another word, Swarupam, for Adhishtanam, support, and Shakti for Karyam. So therefore, Swarupatana atirichyate ashrayaha. Ultimately, so far in the discussion, when we talk about these two words, one is support, other is ashraya. Whatever is only one vastu. That itself is ashraya, support, that itself is activity. That is abhinna nimitta upadana karanam. That is, Ishvara is both material cause and efficient cause. That we have seen. So here, if you take that only, here, Swarupat Natirichyate. If you take in this explanation, Shakti or Ashraya Vyapara, or Adhishtanam is Shakti only, Vyapara also Shakti only. Or you take the another definition, Shiva is Adharam, Shakti is Vyapara, activity. Whatever terminology you use, we have been using it as though they are different from me. As though they are different from me. Now he says, Ashraya, the support is Swarupat na atirichyate. It is your own self. Ultimately, there is nothing that Paramatma, Tattvamasi, so that Ishvara is alone you. So in essence, the same. The substance, essence with which Ishvara is made up of, essence with which the Jiva is made up of, the core Jiva is made up of, is Chaitanyam. So upadhis are different. Ishvara upadhi is Maya upadhi, Visishta Chaitanyam, or Upahita Chaitanyam. Both are used. Or Ishvara is Maya upadhi, Visishta Chaitanyam. That Ishvara is what? Chaitanyam, without upadhi. Jiva avidya upadhi. So without avidya upadhi, Jiva is Shuddha Chaitanyam. So that Chaitanyam and Chaitanyam ekameva. Therefore, in that sense, Swarupat, other than Swarupam, your own self, that itself is Ashraya. Other than that self, there is nothing other than self as a support. Because he says, Swarupameva Ashraya Adhara Karanam Bhavati Karyasya. Swarupam, your own self, higher self, is Adhara, support, or Karanam Bhavati, cause. It becomes cause for the Karya or the effect. So Karya Karanayoho Tadatma Sambandhad Eka Eva Shakti Dvinama Prochate iti Upapatti Bodhya. Now again, that Swarupam you can call it as Shakti only, because we said we have used two words. If you take Shakti is a word used for supreme, that will come later on more clarification. So some people call this as that and whatever name. Ultimately, what is happening? There is a Karya Karana Yoho Tadatma Sambandhena, because there is identification between Karya, because Karyam and Karanam, there is Tadatmya. Why? Karanam alone appears as karyam. Cause alone appears as a cause. Therefore, these two, Karanam and Karyam, Shakti Dvinama Prochate iti Upapatti Bodhya. So, this has to be understood. Shakti itself as having these two names as cause and the effect. Punascha Shaktehe Vyaparatmakatvam Swarupatmakatvam cha Dhradayati. Again, this is now being explained more clearly. Shaktehe Vyaparatmakatvam Swarupatmakatvam. Of the Shakti, two things. Vyaparatmakam, that is of activity, Swarupatmakam as Ashraya, these two of the Shakti alone. Shakti is Ashraya, Shakti is Vyapara. So that is explained now in next verse he said. Swarupamanyasapeksham naiva sarvatmakatvatah shaktim mrityam swarupam cha yayevam veda vedasaha. Now, this is a very simple thing. What is that? Swarupam, Sattatmakam. What is Swarupam? The pure existence. Asti, asti, asti. Sattatmakam Swarupam na eva anya sapeksham. The Swarupam is not depending on anything else for its own existence. It is not depending on something else. It is Swatas Siddham. Anya nirapeksham swatas siddhatvat. Why? It is swayambhu. It is already there. It has no cause. It is a causeless cause. It is there. But how it has come into existence? It is always there. That's a mystery actually. How the Brahman himself is existing. If you really think, it's a very wonderful thing. But he is there. You have to just accept he is there. He has no other cause. Because Brahman is not the effect. So, it is by itself existing without depending on anything else. That is Swarupam. Kutaha Swatasiddhi. How come it is Swatasiddhi? Proven, really by itself without any cause. Sarvatmakatvataha. Sarvasyapi satta pratyaya ashrayatvena Swarupe avasthanat Swarupasya eva Sarvatmana avasthitatvacha. Because it is Sarvatmakatvataha. It is being self of all. Self of all, it is Swatasiddham. Therefore, Sarvasyapi Satta Pratyaya Ashrayatvena. It is the Ashraya as what? Satta Pratyaya. I exist. Satta Pratyaya, the Pratyaya is a thought. So I exist. Aham Asmi. Aham Asmi. That is Satta. So Satta Pratyaya Ashrayatvena. It is depending only on just simple I. I has no cause. The supreme I has no other cause. It is there. Swarupe avasthanat. So that Pratyaya, Aham Asmi, that Aham refers to not ego. Asmi, that supreme only. So therefore Swarupe avasthanat, Swarupasya eva sarvatmana avasthitatvacha. So Swarupena eva sarvatmana. So in all beings, it is existing as Satta, as a pure Ashraya support. He is existing. There is no transformation in him. It is a causeless cause. But he is existing in everyone as the core or essence of every being. Therefore, Yah Purushaha, the one Yaha Purushaha, Shaktim Uddeshyam Evam Ukta Prakarena Vrittim Vyaparam Swarupam Ashrayam Cha Ubayamapi Veda Janati Saveda Tachakyam Savijanati. One who knows, as mentioned above, both Shakti, that is Vrittim Vyaparam, Shaktim, Vrittim Vyaparam, Swarupam Ashrayam Cha. Swarupam, which is Ashrayam, Shakti, which is Vyaparam, Vritti Vyaparam, both Ubhayamapi Veda Janati. One who knows both these two as one, they are not separate. Veda Janati, Sa Veda, Tacha Aikyam Sa Vijanati. See, this is very clear. One who knows that both Shakti and Ashraya support Swarupam. Swarupam is Ashraya. Shakti is Vyapara. So one who knows both Ashraya and Shakti, that is Swarupam as Ashraya, Shakti as Vyapara. Only, remember very carefully, only when who knows both these two, then alone he can see the identity between these two. Both are same. If you say both are same, how can you say both are same unless you see the both? Think. Unless you know the both, you cannot say. We, in our case, we don't know anything, neither that nor this. We don't know. We don't know Shakti Swarupam, we don't know Ashraya. Therefore, one who knows both, then Aikyam sa Vijanati. Then he sees, oh, these two are same alone. There is no difference between Shakti and Shiva or Ashraya and Vyapara. Yastu Vyapara Ashrayayoho Shakti Swarupayoho Bhedam Pashyati Soagnya Ityuktam Bhavati. One who sees difference between Vyapara and Ashraya, activity and support, Shakti and Swarupa, one who knows the difference, Saha Agnaha. He is ignorant. So, in fact, these two are one and the same. Vrutterabhave tu satah nana bhavo na siddhyati satta shaktyatirekta chet vrutter naiva samudbhavaha. Meaning, one cannot exist without the other. One cannot be separated from the other. That is the meaning. What is that? Shaktehe vyaparatmakatva muktam. Now, what has been said is, Shakti, when you say Shakti, it is vyaparatmakam. It is of the nature of the activity, Shakti. Because Shakti, as I said yesterday, recognized only as when activity is going on, we infer the presence of Shakti. Remember example yesterday gave, ocean and the wave, etc. Shakti. So, Shakti is what? Vyaparatmakam. Uktam. What is Vyaparatmakam? Srushti Sthitилaya Tirodhana Anugraha. Okay. Shaktya eva paramah puman idam sarvam sasarjaiti pratipadanat. Because it was very clearly proposed and declared that only with the help of the Shakti alone, the Supreme Being created all these worlds. Pratipadanat. Satyameva shaktau ekasya vastunah nanatva sampattihi iti anvayena upapaditam. Yes. So, satyameva shaktau ekasya vastunah. Satyameva shaktau. Only when Shakti is present. Vastunah nanatva sampattihi iti nanatva sampattihi anvayena upapaditam. Only when Shakti is present, then alone the Purusha can appear, or nanatva siddhi, that recognition, establishing or observing or knowing or experiencing the nanatvam, multiple things, multiplicities or manyness of this entire Jagat, many things, differences in the Jagat, nanatvam, variety, ekasya vastunah nanatva sampatihiti anvayena upapaditam. Only when Shakti is there, then this is possible. If Shakti is there, then alone, because of Shakti alone, one vastu is appearing as many. If Shakti is not there, this vastu cannot express itself as anything. Idanim asatyam shaktau nanatvam neti vitirekena aha. Now, in this sloka, it told in reverse way. First they said, only Paramatma, the Swarupa Ashraya is there. Only when Shakti is there, when Shakti is there, then only manyness can be created. Now it is in reverse form there. When Shakti is not there, then the Ashraya can do nothing. In reverse order, it is being said. Vitirekena aha. Vrutterabhave sataha वस्तुनः एकस्वरूपस्य वस्तुनः एकस्वरूपस्य वृत्तेरभावे सतः existence, which is one without a second, right? Existence which is one without a second. Ekaswarupasya vritterabhave. If there is no activity or vrittehe, vyapara bhave, nana bhavo na siddhyati. So therefore, our vastu appearing as many, becoming as many, is not possible in the absence of Shakti. Na siddhyati. Vyaparakhya shaktya vrittya eva srushtehe nanatva sambhav pratipadanat. Srushti Rupi Vyapara is possible only because of the Shakti which is creating all these multiplicities, manyness. Only because of Shakti. Shakti Vyapara. Okay. Satta Shakti hi atirikta chet. If existence, Shakti hi atirikta chet. If that Ishvara Ashraya is without Shakti, what happens? Shaktimati atitayam, Shaktim atitayam sattayam. That means what? If there is Satta existence which is above the Shakti, as a supreme, something above. Atitayam sattayam vrittehe naiva samudbhavaha. Then there cannot be any vritti at all. There cannot be any activity. If there is a disconnection between Shakti and that Ashraya, the support Satta. So if existence and the Ashraya, let's say existence is Ashraya and the Vyapara Shakti, if they are disconnected, cannot be done. So Gurudev used to give some example, very simple examples. So that Pandit Ravi Shankar, great sitara artist, he was. So he went to a party. Oh, everybody said, oh, Pandit ji, aap aaye hai, very great, great, great. Since you have come here, please play. He said, I cannot. But why? Without my sitara. Whatever the instrument you call. Without that, I cannot play. So he must be having that instrument all the time with him. Then only he can play. Or Ravi Shankar's instrument is there, Ravi Shankar is not there. You cannot go an instrument. Anyway, your boss is not there, doesn't matter. You are there, why don't you play? It cannot play. So each one of them are totally useless without the other. Your life also. You and your power, Shakti is not there, energy is not there. You are as good as dead. You cannot lift little finger also. Why little finger? Eyelids also cannot be opened. He is not able to move? No, sir. Can he open his eyes? No, sir. At least can he swallow? No. Is he dead? No. What happened to him? No energy. We just give injections, some IV fluids for survival, to make him survive. Absolutely no energy. Why can't he open? To open the eyes also energy is required. So he is there. And at least there is some energy left for involuntary functions. If that energy also stops, he is dead. So, that's what he says. So the one without the other, vrittehe naiva samudbhava na eva udeti iti vrittehi. Na udeti vrittehi. That activity or vritti also doesn't rise if there is no Shakti. Therefore, katam punaha, now the doubt is asked. You are confusing me, sir. What? Katam punaha vrittireva shakti shaktam cha sarupam iti purvam pratipadya. What did you, earlier what you said? Punaha, katam punaha vrittireva shakti. Activity alone is vyapara, alone is shakti. Right? And that alone is shaktam. Both are one, you said. Shaktam cha sarupam. Iti pratipadya. Idanim avrittikam atayeva ashaktam sarupam iti. Now you are saying, idanim avrittikam, the existence is, because it said no, without satta, the Shakti existence cannot do anything. So you are proposing there is a possibility of existence without the power. Therefore he says, idanim avrittikam atav eva ashaktam sarupamiti nirvishesha satta matra pratipadanam upapannam iti chet. Now we are presenting only nirvishesha satta matram, only a pure existence, because you are tested in the just now. If Shakti, the existence is above Shakti, you said, why are you talking like that? Now he says, na iha nirvishesha satta pratipadanaya sattayam shakti atiriktayam vritti anudbhava uktaha pratyuta vastuswarupasya nityashaktatvam nirupayitam eva ityaha. Arey Baba, when I said that, it is not to show that what? Nirvishesha satta pratipadanaya, in order to only to show that nirvishesha satta pratipadanam, that is existence without any attributes. To show, in order to show that, it is not that, not na. I am not showing that nirvishesha satta pratipadanamaya. In order to prove that the existence without any attributes, and our Shakti atiriktayam vritti anudbhava uktaha. It is not, I did not say that there is an existence without Shakti. Then, if there is no Shakti, then there cannot be rise any activity from the existence. This is not my intention. By saying that, you are taking it for granted that as though existence is separated from Shakti. I have said, without the Shakti, existence cannot do anything. So existence is require Shakti. As though there is an option. Existence can have Shakti, cannot have Shakti. So you are talking about Nirvishesha Brahma or exist Satta without any attributes, without any Shakti. Attribute Shakti. How you are proposing that existence of that Satta without any attribute? I am not showing to show you, to make you understand that there is only Satta without any Shakti. I am not, that is not my intention. When I said this, it is only to show you that Shakti and Shaktam are always together inseparable. That is what my intention is. Pratyuta vastu swarupasya nitya shaktatvam. Beautiful thing. That vastu, swarupam, is always with Shakti. He can never be separated from Shakti. They are always together. That Shakti sometimes manifests, sometimes doesn't manifest. In order to show that, I spoke like that. Nitya shaktatvam nirupayitam eva iti aha. Yadi kalena bhavita jagatah pralayo mahan abhedena swarupeyam vyaparo leenavad bhavet. Now, kalena jagato mahan pralayo bhavita. In time, the Mahapralaya will come. In Mahapralaya, what will happen? All the Jagat will merge. Okay? So, ayam vyaparaha swarupe leenavat bhavet iti, very important. In when the Pralaya comes, all the Jagat, all the Srishti, what? Swarupe, in his own Atma Swarupa, in higher self, very clearly. Leenavat bhavet, as though it is merged in Paramatma. As though. Meaning what? It is not, there are too many ways to think about this. It is not that Srishti is separate from existence. If it is separate from existence alone, we can say it merges in existence. We cannot separate them. So, when you say Srishti Pralaya mein, it merges into existence. So, Leenavat, as though it is merging. There is no merger. One more, another understanding is, if really this Nama Rupam is real, then only question of merger comes. So, Leenavat bhavet iti yojyam. Utpannasya nashratvam sarvesham abhimatam. Everybody knows, agrees. Whatever is created, it will eventually be destroyed. That is, sarvesham srishtanam lokanam samanakalo vilayati nirnetum na shakyate. Now you see, there are many worlds. Puranas, we speak about it. So in all these many worlds, do you think all the worlds at the same time they merge into Pralaya? No, we cannot decide like that. Some lokas Pralaya mein chala jata hai, many lokas exist. Not that all lokas at the same time they merge in Brahman or the source, Ashraya, Swarupam. It cannot be said. One Brahmanda may be merged, other Brahmandas are still there. So therefore, Samanakalo vilayati nirnetum, we cannot come to a conclusion. Tesham drustischa samakala iti nischaya asiddhatvat. Why? Because different lokas, different Brahmandas, different things are created at different timings. And each creation has its own time. Like we can say, not that all human beings are born same time and same time dying. Their birth also at different times and death also different times. So in this world, some world is born, some world is existing, some world is just now merging. Right now, maybe some world is not, maybe Ananta Kotibra, somewhere something is blasted, something is now being merged. So we cannot come to a conclusion because yat srishtam, vilayat desham srishti samakala iti nischaya asiddhatvat. Yat srishtam tan nashtam bhavati iti tu asandigdham. What is important is, without any doubt, whatever is created, it is bound to get destroyed eventually. Nashtam bhavati. That is eventually to be understood. Sarvasyapi jagat samashtehe atyantika vinashtihi samakala sambhavet chet. Even if you say that all the worlds which are created are merged in that ashraya swarupam same time, even if you say tadapi, even then yena vyaparena sarvam srishtam sa vyaparaha tad ashraye vastu swarupe leenavat bhavet. Even then you say, then that because of which the activity, because of which all these things have been created, ultimately they all merge. As though they merge, they are seen merging back into their own source, as though. Okay. Na tasya vinashtihi bhavati. As though means what? Actual destruction is the third important point. Actual destruction is not taking place. One way is, if really anything has come out, other from the Ishvara, but it cannot, because Srishti is Ishvara, Abhina Nimitta Pada is not separate from creation. And whatever you say it is seen, it is only an illusion. So when you say illusion was gone back to, like for example, some reflection you saw, water reflection of moon. So water is thrown away. What will happen to moon? We say it merges back into the original moon. Actually, is there anything merging happening there? The appearance which is there, it is dissolved because the medium is not there. What is always there. So therefore, natasya vinashtir bhavati. It won't go. It is just it goes back. Lienavad bhavet. It will not completely merge. Sorry, it will not completely be destroyed. Everything is there. It will come back again. Tasya swa ashtraya vastu aviyojya tvat iti bhavaha. Because it is not separated. It is inseparable from its own ashraya. Therefore, there is no destruction for it. That's what we say. Energy is neither created nor destroyed. It only changes from one form to other form. Abhedena swarupe. Abhedena swarupe bhaved iti yuktya shaktehe swarupena tadatva sambandho bodhya. So when it said abhedena swarupe, sloka abhedena swarupe ayam vyaparo lenavat bhavet. Abhedena swarupe means what? Bhavet iti yuktya. It becomes bhavet. Swarupam bhavet iti yuktya shaktehe swarupena tadatma sambandha bodhya. What is being taught here is what? That Shakti and Ashraya. Shaktehe swarupena, its total identification with the Ashraya is pointed out. So they are inseparable. This is what we have to understand. So what is one. That itself is support, that itself is vyapara. That's what is going to be concluded. Okay. So tadrusha swarupa shaktya eva paramasya pumsaha sustir bhavati jnatuhu vishayanoho vijnanam cheti aha. So tadrusha swarupa shaktya eva. So that means it is the kind of that nature which is of this nature of as explained before, the swarupa and shakti, which is of that nature, pumsaha. So by that paramasya pumsaha, one who is having this ashraya and vyapara of the supreme being, paramasya pumsaha, sustir bhavati. So by the same supreme person, this entire creation has come. Whatever you call it. What is it created? So that supreme, by the supreme, so sustir bhavati, jnatu vishayano vijnanam cheti aha. He himself is created the knowledge of both the knower and the known. Jnatuhu, knower. Vishayanaha, known. Vijnanam, knowledge. So the knowledge of the both known and the knower is created again only also by Shakti alone. The knowledge and the knower is possible. By the Shakti alone. By the Shakti alone, the knowledge of the known and the knower is possible. Without the Divine Mother's grace, that ahamasti is satta also you cannot know. But already we have seen yesterday. So these two are not separate. It is only one is ashraya, one alone is vyapara. So Shakti Vichara, this chapter is called Shakti Vichara. Okay. Sarvepi vyavaharoyam na bhavet shakti mantara na srustirnapi vijnanam yadeta triputi mayam. So Shakti mantara, Shaktim varjayitva sarvepi ayam vyavaharaha ayam iti nirdeshena prakrutaha bhakta praka prashna karana bhagavad uttaradana rupaha api vyavaharo jneyah. Beautiful. Without Shaktim varjayitva. Shaktim varjayitva. Without Shakti, leaving the Shakti aside, without Shakti, no vyavahara is possible. Sarve api ayam vyavaharaha. Ayam vyavahara means what? Here, the Kapala Shastra says that the questioner asking a question to Bhagavan, Bhagavan replying to the student, this vyaparam also is not possible without Shakti. Bhagavad Uttaradana Rupopi Vaharo Jnaya. So this is to be understood. Ayam Shabdena, Ayam this. This is not possible. What is not possible? This means includes both the questioner asking the question to Bhagavan, Ramana Maharshi answering the student. This Vyapara, Ayam Vyapara also, include this also, is not possible without Shakti. So api na bhavet. This is also not possible. Srushti na bhavet. Creation is impossible. Asatyam srishtau asmadadinam satta vyavahara eva na bhavet. If there is no, Srushti is not possible without the Shakti. Without Srushti, even for all our, for all of us, asatyam srishtau, if there is no Srushti, creation, asmadadinam satta vyavahara eva na bhavet. For all of us, satta vyavahara, I am, you, he, she, I, you, this transaction, satta vyavahara also is impossible. Even this, first of all, you should be there, no? So kimuta yadetat triputiyamayam. So even this very simple thing, even duality doesn't exist. Even the concept of I and you also doesn't exist. I and it also doesn't exist. Then what to talk about Triputi? Triputi is what? Jnana, Jnata, Jnanam and Jnayam. Where is the question of existence of Triputi without Shakti? If you exist, then objects should exist. They should exist in the creation. That is creation. Objects are created and the knower of the object is created. Then Triputi is formed. That is possible because creation happened. Objects created, the people created. Experiencer also, knower also created. Very good. Now, this creation is possible only because of Shakti. So if Shakti is not there, this duality not possible. If this is existing, me and you are object and me, etc., then only Triputi can form. So if the Shakti is not there, Sushti is not there, you and I Vyavahara is not there. If you and I Vyavahara is a Triputi, kahan se kotha Triputi mayam? Where is the question of Triputi? Impossible. Triputi also doesn't exist. Jnatru jnana jneyatmakam triputimayam vijnanam vishesha grahi vritti rupam jnanam api na bhavet. In this form, vishesha jnana vritti. Graha vritti rupam. Because knowledge in the form of thought, of knower, known, knowledge, this knowledge also na bhavet. Without Shakti. So tasmat Swarupa Shaktya eva idam sarvam siddhyati iti bhavaha. Therefore, all this is possible, made possible only because of the Shakti of the Swarupa. Swarupa Shakti. That is, there is a Swarupa, Shuddha Atma Swarupa. It has its own Shakti. Because of the Swarupa Shakti means what? That Shakti belonging to Swarupa. Because of that alone, all this is made possible. Otherwise, absolutely no way of any kind of activity. Siddhyati iti bhavaha. Puramuktam Shaktehe namadvayam sahetukam tadeva aha. Earlier it was said Shakti has got two names. What are the names? Ashraya and Vyapara. That alone sahetukam, with proof, with the cause, with the reason. It is said same thing now again. Swarupamashrayatvena vyaparas sarga karmana namabhyam uchyate dvabhyam shakti reka parat para. Same thing again is being retold here. Bhagavan emphasizing again. Because the best way of teaching is, after every 3-4 steps, whatever you have concluded, remind the conclusion to the student. Therefore, we have achieved this. Now further. So then we have reached this. Now further, taking it to further. So in the last 4 or 5 steps, we saw this. Now further. So this is the conclusion we have arrived at. Now further, let us go. Like that. Therefore, he says, Paratpara sarvottama sarvatita eka shaktihi. See now, There is some supreme power, divine mother, Lalita Swarupini, Akhilanda Koti Brahmanda Nayaki. Dek Parat Para, above the beyond the beyond. Sarvottama, Sarvatita, Eka Shakti, Ashrajattvena, Nischalaswatmaka Adharataya, Swarupam. That mother only, she, Eka, feminine gender. Eka Shakti, she alone is Swarupam. So who is Swarupam? That Akhilanda Koti Brahmanda Nayaki is Swarupam. So, who is Lalita Devi? Paramatma, the Supreme Mother, is Brahma Swarupini. So, Shakti Namna. That Shakti alone, which is Adharataya, Nischala Swatmaka Adharataya. That, that Shakti is one Shakti, one part is as Nischala. There is no Chalanam. There is no change. There is no movement. So, movementless substratum. She alone is existing as Ashraya. Okay? Because you can dance on the stage only when the stage is not moving. If stage is moving, you cannot dance. If stage is dancing more than you, then you will not dance at all. Think. So there must be some stability. On that you can dance. So there itself is one is adhara, other is activity. Therefore here he says, Sarupam Ashrayatvena Vyapara Sarga Karmana Namabhyam Ucha. So Sarga Karmana Sushti So Sarupamiti, that Divine Mother alone in the form of Sarupam Namna. So therefore, Nischala Swatmaka Adharataya Sarupam iti. That Sarupam is Nischala Swarupam Adhara, support. As a support, it is existing. Who? That Shakti alone is Ashraya. Sarga Karmana Sushtikarena Krutyantaranam Api Upalakshanam. Sarga Karmana, same Shakti in the case of creation, etc. Meaning sustenance, dissolution, Anugraha, Tirodhanam, Anugraha, all that, Sarga Karma Adi, Evam Vyaparaha, Vishwasargadi, Iti Yuktena Sangachate. Sarga Karma means all activities of Sarga Karma, creation, existence, dissolution, all the activities included. Sangachate. So everything is brought, Sangachate means everything is included in that word Sarga Karmana. Sargam, not only creation. It includes existence, sustenance, it includes dissolution, it includes tirodhanam, it also includes anugraha. Ataha srushtiyadikaryena hetuna vyapara iti namna. So, because she alone is doing Sushtikarya, with respect to that Sushtikarya, the other name is called Vyapara. This entire thing is called Vyapara. Now, are there two? No, only one. One is Ashraya, and same is Shakti alone as Vyapara, Namna. Evam Dvabhyam Namabhyam Uchyate. So, Shakti has got two names. Sarupam, which is Nischala Swarupam, Adharam, and Vyapara, activity. Evam Shaktehe Paraparatvam Abhimanyamanaihi Tasyaha Namadvayam Abhipagantavyam. Thus, this is named those who say Shakti is ultimate, supreme. They, according to them, that Shakti itself is Adhara, Shakti itself is Vyapara. Those who believe, yes, that Paraparatvam Abhimanyamanaihi. They consider Shakti is supreme, Shakti is substratum, Shakti alone is everything. So who is Divine Mother? She is everything, that's it. She herself is Adharam, she herself is support. Those who decide like this, for them they say this has got two names, Namadvayabhyam api Upgantavyam. Okay. Atha ye chalanameva shakti lingam manyante tan pratiyaha. And those who think Shakti is not Adharam, Shakti is only chalanam, and with the characteristics marks. Some people say. Other people's view is that some of them say, no, Shakti means chalanam, activity. Okay? So it is supported by something else. This Shakti belongs to him in that language. Those who believe that way, okay, Shakti lingam manyante. They think that the Shakti, they say they have many characteristics or signs or marks of the Shakti to note in this creation. Those who say Shakti is separate from Shiva, in sense, Shiva is Adhara, Shakti is okay. But in that, Shakti means only characteristics, marks are observed. Chalanam eva. Vyapara time only it is called Shakti. Otherwise not. As Ashraya, we don't call it a Shakti. Those who believe kinetic energy alone is Vyapara. Energy as a potential, we don't accept it as a support. We see activity means as a kinetic energy only. Okay? And kinetic energy cannot come without potential. From potential energy only kinetic. Potential alone transforms itself into kinetic energy. So potential energy, kinetic energy, they are not two different energies. They are one energy expressing as two. With these examples, I think all of you have understood the Vedanta. ऐसा बोलना वो क्या की बता रहे थे यार. So therefore, he says Lakshanam is important. So through Lakshana, I attribute Shakti as having some characteristics, marks. Observe it. Lakshana, with which I can identify. Some people say that. So for them they say, Lakshanam chalanam yesham shaktes tesham tadashrayah yatkinchit paramam vastu vaktavyam syat nararshabha. Ye narasreshta, yesham mate, according to some other's opinion. Shaktehe lakshanam chalanam bhavati. What is the characteristics, mark, or a sign of the existence of Shakti? Some people, according to some people's opinion, chalanam. There is an activity means I infer Shakti. So, what is the main mark, sign, symbol, lakshana, characteristic to know that there is Shakti? Means only if activity is there, Shakti is recognized. According to some people's opinion. Tesham mate, according to them, tad ashraya charanashrayoho yatkinchit paramam uttamam sarvatra deshe kalecha naischalena siddham vastu vaktavyam syat uchyate ityartaha. According to their opinion, tesham mate, according to their opinion, tad ashraya, that is chalanashraya, yatkinchit, something paramam uttamam sarvatra deshe kale. There must be something which is support of the Shakti, Vyapara, activity, that which is beyond time, beyond sarvatra deshe kale, which is always in all times, in all places, which is present, naischalena, and that doesn't move. Siddham, vastu vaktavyam sya. We must speak about something which is existing in all places, in all times, but without any movement, as substratum, support of this Shakti. And so based on that alone, the Shakti is able to do Vyapara. And Shakti characteristics is what? Vyapara. Only when Vyapara is there, she is recognized as existing. Otherwise, we don't know. So that is somebody's opinion. Matam. They say something else must be there, which is all pervading, in all times, in all places, must be there. That must be support. Uchyate ityartaha. So, chalana vyaparasya ashraya sapekshakatvat. Why? Because chalana vyapara means all this creation, existence, movement, etc. must and should be having some support which should be nischala. So, chalana vyaparashrayasya sapekshatvat. Why? Because this is depending on something else. Chalana vyapara, all the activity which is going on done by Shakti, must be depending on something. Because Shakti, and when you say Shakti, Shaktiman, one who possesses the Shakti must be there. So Shakti, power is there. To whom does it belong to? This question has to come. Otherwise, there is no answer for this. It has to belong to somebody. Power, we say horsepower, battery power, car power. Think. So power cannot independently act. It has to be belonging to somebody. And anyway, it's enough. It has to belong to somebody. Therefore, sapekshakatvam. It is not independent. It has to have some support. Then alone Shakti can do it. So, sarvadha api ekameva param tattvam bahuda giyate ityaha. But now you are confusing, so much confusion. Shakti, vyapara, ashraya, that and this and somebody, one time you say Shakti itself is Swarupam, Shakti itself ashraya. Now you say somebody comes and tells their opinion that the Shakti is Chalanam, Vyaparam recognized as a Lakshana and its only characteristics are a sign, mark with which we recognize activity means we can recognize the Shakti. Shakti must have some ashraya. That ashraya must be all pervading in all times, in all places should exist. It should not have any movement. Then only this is possible. So, ultimate summary is this. What is that? Tadekam paramam vastu shakti meke prachakshate swarupam kepi vidvamsa brahmanye purusham pare tat, meaning tat shabdavacham sat, tat ekam tadekam. Some people call it as tat, simple tat. Ekam vastu is there. Some people call it as tat. Tat means ekam vastu, satta, pure existence. Sat. Ekam means advitiyam paramam vastu karma. Some people say it is paramam vastu. It is supreme state, supreme object. Paramam vastu. Shaktim, eke janaha shaktim pratakshate. Some people call that power as Shakti. Whatever is one. Somebody call it as tat, that is pure existence. Somebody calls it as ekam, advitiya vastu, ekam. Somebody calls it as Shakti, and iti namna vyavaharante. Kepi vidvamsa swarupam. Somebody calls it as swarupam. Somebody calls it as tat. Somebody calls it as a supreme ekam. Somebody calls it as supreme vastu. Somebody calls it as Shakti. Someone calls it as swarupam. Ityahu. Anye Brahma iti. Some other call it as Brahma. So, Brahma is equal to Swarupam, is equal to Shakti, is equal to Supreme Paramam Vastu, is equal to Ekam, is equal to Sat or Tat. Pare Purusham Purusheti cha Prahuhu Ekasya Sataha Bahuda Kalpanam Mantravarnascha Gayanti. Whatever is only one existence. That alone is sung by the rishis in different names. But one conclusion is what? Conclusion is Abhinna Nimitta Upadana Karanam. He himself is Ashraya, he himself is Vyapara. She herself is Ashraya, she herself is Vyapara. It itself is Ashraya, it itself is activity. तो बोनो बोल दिया न्यूट्रल जेंडर you call it as it, tat existence alone is one, that alone appears as this jagat. So whatever is only one vastu, that itself is ashraya, that itself is swarupa. Like a dream. In your dream, only your mind alone is there. The seer is the mind. Experiencer is the mind. Knowledge is the mind. Triputi is the mind. Object is the mind. Whatever you create in the mind. Seer of all the Jagat, mind. All emotions, mind. So in that dream, what is their vastu? Only one vastu. What is that? Your own mind. Therefore, ekam santam bahuda kalpayanti ityadhyaha. This is in Rigveda mantra. Rigveda mantra mein suparnam vipraha kavayah vache vachobhihi ekam santam bahuda kalpayanti. Ekam santam, whatever is santam vastu, what ekam santam vastu, whatever is one existing vastu, bahuda kalpayanti, call it as Shakti, call it as Tat, call it as Brahma, call it as Ekam, call it as Advaitam, Advitiyam, call it as Paramam, Supreme, whatever you want to call. We have no objection. But only that alone is Ashraya, that alone is support. That means what? Ishvara is Abhinna Nimittupadana Karanam. Atha Dvidha Satyam Bhodyam Itiyaha. Therefore, the truth has to be told in two ways. Satyam Bhodyam Dvidha. Two ways it should be told. What is that? Vatsa Satyam Dvidha Gamyam Lakshanena Cha Vastutah. Lakshanenochate Satyam Vastutastvanu Vatsa Jata iti. Oh my dear child, Priya Sambodhanam. It is a loving address. Vatsa means Shishya. Satyam Paramam Lakshanam. Paramam Lakshyam. That supreme goal which is to be realized. Dviprakarena Gamyam Avagantavyam. It has to be explained or known in two ways. To be understood in two ways. Katham? Lakshanena Vastutascha Gamyam. It has to be understood in two ways. One is through Lakshana, other is Vastu Swarupena. So it is called Tatastha Lakshanam, Swarupa Lakshanam. Utkam. Lakshanena Satyam Uchyate. Now see, very important. Lakshanena, by Lakshana. Lakshana means by characteristics, marks, by visible signs, and what all you can infer. Satyam, Uchyate is spoken. Lakshanena Satyam Uchyate is spoken, is said about it, told, talked about. Vastutaha Anubhuyate. Vastu Swarupam, through by knowing Vastu Swarupena, you will realize that Vastu. But if you use Lakshana, you will only speak about that object. So Lakshana gives you Paroksha Jnanam, Vastu Swarupam gives you Aparoksha Jnanam. So there are two ways to know the truth. One is Lakshana, first you know, then Swarupataha. Okay? Vastutaha tu anubhuyate Swarupena ityartaha. Kimidam Lakshanam yena Satyam Lakshate. What is that Lakshana? By which that Satyam can be recognized. One existing truth is seen, noticed. Vyaparo vritti shaktirva bhavati lingam. How do you know what is the Lakshana? Vyapara, activity. Srushti sthiti layam. When Srushti sthiti laya is, Srushti is happening, Layam is happening in front of us. Many things, people die, etc., etc. Vinasha is happening. So when you say this Jagat, then you can infer, looking at the Jagat, there must be a creator of the Jagat. Who created this? So existence of Sat as Karanam, Jagat Karanam, is first inferred. Why? Because how do you know that there is Jagat Karanam? Tatastha Lakshanam. What is Tatastha Lakshanam? By characteristics, marks, by properties, by signs and activities and all those things. What is the activity? Because there is a Srishti creation, existence and dissolution. Jagat is seen. That means there must be a cause. So knowing at this Srishti, I infer the existence of the cause. So therefore here it very clearly says, Vyapara Vritti Shakti Bhavati Lingam. So the Shakti, Vyapara, Shakti becomes Lingam, a sign, a noticeable sign. Lakshana. Yena Lakshitam Swarupam Pratiyate. So because by seeing this Jagat as a Lakshana, characteristics of this Srishti through that I can show that Swarupam as what? Jagat Karanam. Jagat Karanatvena Swarupam is talked about. Not yet realized. But through Lakshana, I infer, I conclude, there must be a cause behind it. Because for everything existing must be a cause. So there must be Jagat Karanam. That is inferred. So, Yena Lakshitam Swarupam Pratiyate. Tasmat Swarupa Pratyaya api Vrittya eva siddhyati. Therefore, very important. Swarupa Pratyayam. That, I know that I exist. Even the pratiti, recognition of that you exist, is possible only through Shakti. It's a Lakshanam. Lakshanam. So that kind of Shaktya eva pratiyate, siddhyate. Vina Shaktim narasreshta swarupam na pratiyate. Iti uktameva artham prakarantarena Swarupa Vyaparayoho Laksha Lakshana Bhava Pratipadanadvara Braviti. Earlier it was said, without Shakti, even the I thought Ahamvritti cannot rise, Triputi cannot rise. Same thing has been said as a Laksha Lakshana Dvara Braviti. Same thing is told in terms of, in the language of Lakshana and Lakshya. Laksham is the Paramatma, Aprokshanabhuti, Swarupam, Karanam. But how do we know that there is a Karanam? Through Lakshana, I came to know the existence of Paramatma. How did I come to know? Yes, Jagat Karanam Asti. So, that's the Brahma Sutra, Janma Jasi Yataha. Very second mantra. Atato Brahma Jignasa. Janma Jasi Yataha. So, Yatova imani bhutani jayanti, yena jatani jivanti, yat premishanti. That is quoted there. So, janmajyasya yataha. Janma adi. Adi means srushti sthiti laya. So, that is a tatastha lakshanam. That's what he said here. Narasreshta swarup pratiyate iti yakti. Okay. Now, lakshanena vrityatmakam jnanam. Very important. By Lakshana, through Lakshana, characteristics, what do you get? Thought, Vritti knowledge you get. Vrittyatmakam knowledge you get. Vritti jnanam you will get through Lakshana. Not Aparokshana Vritti or Vritti jnanam and then other Anubhav you will not get. Vritti jnanam only. So, Vastutaha Anubhavatmakam Swarupa Jnanamiti Dvida Satyasya Gamyatve Pratipadite. By showing that Vastutaha Anubhavatmakam Swarupa Jnanam iti Dvida Satyasya Gamyatve Pratipadite. In knowing the truth, when it is said, these two are said, Pratipadite, when these two are shown, one is Aparoksha Jnanam, Vastutaha Anubhavatmakam, and Swarupa Jnanamiti. Vidha. One is Lakshana, Lakshya. One is Aparoksha Jnanam, right? Swarupa Jnanamiti. Vidha. So one is Lakshanana, Vrityatmakam Jnanam, Paroksha Jnanam. Vastutaha Anubhavatmakam Swarupa Jnanam iti Aparoksha Jnanam. Vidha Satyasya Gamyatve Pratipadite. When these two are told in this way, that means what? Anubhavaika Vedyasya Vastunaha Vang Manasayo Atitatvat. That object which is to be realized by experience, by Aparoksha Jnanam, since it is beyond mind and the speech. Vak Manasayo Atitatvat Vrityatmakam lakshanameva swarupa avaganati paryantam sadhanam bhavati iti phalitam. Very important. Because the higher truth is Swarupa Jnanam is, Aparoksha Jnanam is, Lakshyam is beyond the speech and the mind. So long that realization has not happened, one should take the shelter of Lakshana. That is, Vritti Jnanam support has to be taken. See? So, Vrityatmakam Lakshanameva Swarupavaganti Pantaryantam Sadhanam. That becomes Sadhanam. What is sadhana? Vritti Jnanam, that is Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam. All these things are to be done. How long? Till you recognize that Paramatma is Aparoksha Anubhuti. That becomes Vritti Jnanam, becomes which is Lakshanam. Vritti Jnanam Lakshana only. All characteristics of Brahman. That becomes sadhanam bhavati iti palitam. Atha Vedantinah api Satchidananda Swarupam Brahma Tatasthalakšanena Avasthatraya Sakshitvena Gamyam Pratipadayanti iti Dhvanayan Aha. Vedantis also speak about Satchidananda Swarupam Brahma as having Tatasthalakshana and Swarupa Lakshana. Tatastha Lakshana means what for Vedantins? How they say, what is Tatastha Lakshana Vedanta? As Avasthatraya Sakshitvena. Vedanta speaks about the Tatastha Lakshana is how Avasthatraya Sakshitvena. There must be Sakshi to know that Sakshi is you. So because Jagat is there, experiences are there. And Sakshitva, you are there, Sakshi. So you are witnessing, so you are there. How do you know that you are there? Because I am seeing Jagat. So in that sense, in reverse gear actually. After higher understanding, I am there, then only I can see the Jagat. So first Sakshitvena, as a witness, first of all understand. Tatastha Lakshanena, Avastatraya Sakshitvena. Oh, that is because it's a Lakshanam. There must be there. In I am witness of all three states. Anvaya Vyatireka Sadhana. I am there in all three states. But three states are in one, whenever whichever state I am in, other two states are absent. That is Vyatireka Sadhana. So, what is Tatatha Lakshanam? Avasthas, these three states are coming and going. I am there because I know all of them. Therefore, I exist. I am a Sakshi. How do you know you are Sakshi? Because these states are going. I am changeless. Why? Sakshi is changeless. How can you say? Because the three states are rolling. I am there in all the three states. But each state is not in other two states. Therefore, in that sense, Vedantis explain Gamyam Pratipadayanti iti Dhanayan. So, suggesting this, he says, Tatsmat Swarupa Vijnanam Vyaparena cha Vastutah Tatasthena cha Sakshatcha Dvidam Samprachakshate Tasmat Vidhagamyatvat Swarupa Vijnanam Tatasthena Vyaparena Sakshatcha Vastutah Dvidam Samprachakshate. Same thing is told. Therefore, Vidhagamya, truth can be known in two ways. One is Swarupa Vijnanam Tatasthena Vyaparena. So one is through Tatastha Jnanam, other is Sakshat Vastutaha, that is direct experience. Dvidam Samprachakshate. Ayam Bhavaha. Swarupasya ekatve api tad vijnanam Tatastha Lakshanena Vyaparena Gamyam. Aparoksha Anubhavena cha Gamyam. Evam Dvidam Praho. That is. So that means what? Truth, even though it is one and the same, without a second, but to know, first you know, reach the truth through, understand, convince that it exists through Tatastha Lakshana, and then how long should I practice this Tatastha Lakshana sadhana, Vrityatmaka Jnanam, till you realize the truth. And what is the Lakshyam? Vastu Swarupam, direct experience. That is the Lakshyam. So long you don't get realization, other things you must do. Evam Dvividam Praho. Punascha imamartham tribhi slokaihi spashtayati. In the same meaning, same artham, same thing is told in next three verses that we will see tomorrow. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate ओम शांति शांति शांति। हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय।